Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now September 4th of 2021. Now, two particular TV shows that a lot of Star Wars fans are really looking forward to right now is the Book of Boba Fett and the Kenobi TV series. Those are the two shows that we're going to be getting very, very soon. The Book of Boba Fett is going to have a lot of, action sequences that takes place in between Empire Strikes Back and Mando Season 1, showing us Boba Fett going in revenge mode, as we have learned, as well as the Kenobi TV series. They're pushing that to actually release by spring of 2022 next year. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. By the way, guys, if you would like to go ahead and check me out at Mike01 on Twitter, I do post a couple of fun things on there if you guys want to go ahead and follow. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that Jon and Dave, alright, these two are very passionate. You can just see it. Whenever you actually look at Jon and Dave's work, you can just tell that they are very much invested and trying to really make sure that they are giving things to the fandom and not trying to just make a successful brand just because Disney wants them to. What they are doing is that they are trying to craft something beautiful, something that is going to build upon their legacy that they can actually leave behind for fans to remember. So that's exactly what they're doing with the TV shows. The TV shows, as I always say, is just as expansive as Star Wars Legends, with the books, the comics, and the novels. The reason being is because TV shows can be very expansive. You have multiple episodes within one season, and then you jump to the next season, and so on and so forth. However, what's really intriguing is what Jon Favreau had to say about actress Gina Carano. Now, we all know what happened to Gina Carano back in February of this year. A lot of major changes, because of that happened for Rangers of the New Republic, and even Mandalorian Season 3, and even other Star Wars TV shows. So, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now focused on their new projects like Star Wars Ahsoka and even The Mandalorian Season 3, it's described that currently Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are actively developing their new lore for the brand that is set to take our characters in new directions. However, it's best described that in a recent interview with creator Jon Favreau about the mandoverse, Favreau was eventually questioned about the character of Cara Dune and actress Gina Carano, and whether or not he is indeed going to rehire her for the future TV shows on Disney+. Now, Jon Favreau went on to explain that myself and Gina have been keeping in touch after what happened to her back in February. Many ask me if I am aware of the fan divide over Carano's termination from Lucasfilm, and what I want to say is that yes, I am very aware of how the fans feel about Gina Carano, and that me and her have been in the talks for her return, and I have been talking with those associated with Lucasfilm, and others way up over at Disney that really takes care of everything from the beginning. Jon Favreau goes on to unveil that I don't want to get into what Miss Carano posted on her social media, but I will say that she is a very sincere person and has only cared for others over herself, and that gave off a very positive feeling on set for the cast and the crew. When Favreau was questioned about if Gina Carano's Cara Dune will return in The Mandalorian Season 3, Favreau goes on to explain that as of right now, we have no plans to bring her back for the third season alone. However, things can always change for sure. But myself, Gina, and others at Disney are in deep conversations on how we can figure things out and settle things for future TV shows and more that will be able to use the character further. Completely separate from what Favreau was able to give to the fans, it's described that Gina Carano is set to make a big return for The Mandalorian Season 4 in 2023 that is actually set to begin filming during the fall of 22, right before Season 3 is set to air on Disney+. Carano has already had multiple conversations with Disney's higher-ups as well as Jon and Dave on her return, and they have been discussing a design change for the character that will truly bring something new for the character and the fans that support her. So not just that, but also Cara Dune is set to have an explanation of her absence in the third season of The Mandalorian, and that currently Jon and Dave are writing that for Season 3 of the series right now. Kathleen Kennedy, not so surprising, is said to be against this plan of bringing back Carano, as Kathleen Kennedy believes it is going to be unhealthy for the cast, crew, and even the entire fandom as well. Jon and Dave are making sure that they can actually do this as much as they can to satisfy the fandom moving ahead to create success for the brand as well. So, here's the thing about Gina Carano's return, alright? Now, obviously they tried to do everything in their power to bring her back in Season 3. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that is happening. Favreau does admit that things can always change down the road, and, you know, you never know what's going to happen. But let's be real. It doesn't seem like she's coming back for Season 3. It is indeed looking more definite now for Season 4, since there have been conversations. She's agreeing to come back for Season 4, and even Jon Favreau admits that they are actually trying to figure things out and settle things to kind of just balance the entire fandom out, right? They want to kind of put it past them. They want to really keep it behind themselves and focus on the new and just move forward. Look, I always say this. If they rehired James Gunn again, right? I believe he's back for Guardians. Why couldn't they bring back Gina Carano? I mean, I feel that if you compare what James Gunn had wrote on Twitter in the past that was uncovered to Gina Carano, I feel that what he did was a lot worse, to tell you the truth, of what it really involved. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to remotely tease of what he had wrote on Twitter. You guys can go ahead and look it up. But everything related to Disney and Lucasfilm right now, what Jon Favreau is trying to make clear is that he is trying to make it clear that he cares about the fans. And I understand that he said, you know, he doesn't want to get into the social media aspect of what Gina Carano had wrote. I'm sure that Jon Favreau is trying to at least kind of keep a little bit of his image to some people, or something around those lines. He doesn't want to take, you know, this side or that side, but he does want to still be as honest and truthful as possible, which is exactly what he's doing. He is showing his passion for Star Wars, for the character of Cara Dune. He's telling us the truth of how Gina Carano was on set, and how it made him and his partner Dave Filoni feel, and the entire cast and crew. Of course, there were some cast and crew members of The Mandalorian that had issues with Gina Carano. We talked about that a couple of months ago, and even Gina herself unveiled that in an interview separate from the Ben Shapiro show. So I think it's a very interesting development now that they are already beginning to work on Season 4 in the early stages. Initially, they wanted to film it back-to-back, Mando Season 3 and 4 back-to-back, but there is a little bit of a delay for Mando Season 3. The reason being is because they are doing additional sequences for the Kenobi TV series. They're going to start wrapping that up very, very soon. Once Kenobi wraps up, they're going to begin shooting Mando Season 3 this month. In fact, they are aiming for mid-September to begin shooting for The Mandalorian Season 3, and they are trying and hoping to at least wrap up by either February or March of 2022. Honestly, that is pretty fast, and a little bit longer than usual, I think, because when you look at Mando Season 2, it took a little less time than that, as far as the major sequences went. So, overall, guys, I would really like to hear your overall, take on all of this, of what Jon Favreau had to say about Gina Carano, and what's your take on the entire scenario. Let me know what you think about all of that below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.